Hello again and welcome to Tips with Andrew. I am Andrew Sapiano. Thank you so much for joining me on this happy Friday. Happy Friday. We made it. Not only is it a happy Friday, but it's a Friday of a long weekend. Oh, yeah. Not a whole lot better than a long weekend Friday. Let's get real here. The only thing that I found that's better than a long weekend Friday is we switched from days to night shift at my work. So a day's day shift to a night's night shift. That's you get like an extra day in there. So that's the only thing that I found better than a regular long weekend is a days to nights switch over long weekend. Couple quick updates before we get started here. I have launched a weight loss course for beginners. It is an online digital course for download. Discover 5 little known secrets on how to lose weight. It is an online course that you can go through basically at your own pace and at your own time whenever you get a chance to. If you or somebody you know of is interested in learning or in losing weight, now that back to school time is next week. Holy, let's get real here. The end of the year is coming so fast. I can't even believe it's already September, back to school time. So definitely, like I said, if you or somebody you know of is interested, reach out to me, drop me a comment, send me a message. We'll definitely get you rocking and rolling. There's tons of cool stuff that comes along with the initial launch, and I'm super excited to get it out there into the universe for the masses to consume. I know it's going to change a lot of people's lives. Next, convention tickets are still on sale. Convention is next week, doTERRA's convention. Oh my goodness, I can't wait. It's actually in like 5 days now. Oh man, you cannot chisel this smile off my face, I promise you. Convention is doTERRA's yearly event. Everything that happens throughout the year comes to fruition at this one event. Learn about the best ways to use essential oils, emerging research, new product launches, exclusive product launches. Learn more about the science behind the oils, why they work with us, how they work with us, why you should be interested in essential oils. There's such cool stuff that happens there. Catch the vision for doTERRA, the world of essential oils, different announcements that are coming out. There's guest speakers that come along with it. Last year we had the Wolverine, Hugh Jackman. Catch the doTERRA family, different customers, wellness advocates, see what they're up to, what's working, what's not working. It's such a great time. If you or somebody you know of is interested in learning more about essential oils, how to reduce the toxic load in your lifestyle, how to live a less toxic lifestyle, how to, boost your immune system. This is definitely an event that you do not want to miss. I'm super excited for it. I cannot wait. And definitely reach out to me. Drop me a comment, send me a message. There is going to be an event held in person in Utah. There's also a live stream event going on. That's the one that I'm super excited about. So definitely reach out to me and we'll get you rocking and rolling. All right. I think that's where we're gonna end the updates for. Actually, hold on. Oh, I don't even have the oil here. Thinker Blend is the free product of the month this month up until the 15th. Thinker is the focus blend. So definitely with back to school coming just around the corner, we want to be focused, concentrated, and it might take a little bit extra seeing as we've been on, an extended summer holiday, right? I mean, let's get real here. So definitely if you're interested in free stuff, definitely reach out to me, drop me a comment, send me a message, and we'll get you signed up, rocking and rolling. All right. Okay, that's it for the updates. I promise. There's so much going on over here. What a great time to be alive. Side note, water. Always want to be taking your water, making sure that you are keeping up with your daily requirement for your water intake, boost overall wellness. All right. Okay, like I said, what a great time to be alive, man. Oh, man, let me tell you. Okay, so what I want to talk about today is just that. Back to school is next week. It is actually Tuesday. Some of the people at work I was talking to say their kids are going back on Wednesday because they get a PA day on Tuesday. I don't ever remember having a PA day on the first day of school. Kids nowadays are spoiled. They have no idea how spoiled they are nowadays. I don't ever remember getting a day off on the first day of school. That would be amazing. Yeah, decided I'm not coming in today. day off, bro. That's amazing. I can't even believe it. I can't even believe that. That's crazy. Anyways, so what I wanted to talk about a little bit today was some simple tips that will help making getting back to school a little bit easier. I know that when we have summer shutdown and then going back to school is a completely different mindset. It's a lot of fighting and argument and arguing and. It's not really a fun time for a lot of people, except for parents. Parents are tired of having their kids around for so long, so they want them to go somewhere. And I mean, realistically, kids are kind of excited to get away from their parents, get back to their friends, real life, all sorts of that stuff. So that's what I've got. But, right, it can be a real, thing, we'll call it. Getting back to school ready, getting everything set up, getting your life sort of, it's a real, life change. As much as, ending school is a huge life change because now you don't really have, quote unquote, anything to do. When you go back to school, it's a huge life change because now you're just, you're upping and changing your whole entire routine and getting right back into it. And 8 hours of school, 9 hours of school, that can take a lot out of you. And that's where I got some tips here to just kind of help you get back to school ready, and hopefully they help you, right? Hopefully you get some value out of some of these tips and maybe can implement one or two, and hopefully they help you get back to school ready and don't completely lose your mind, because I promise you're awesome and you can do it. And those little ones, the little munchkins running around, they're just little, right? You can like step on them, so don't let them get to you. Just give yourself a little bit of leeway with the situation, and we will definitely get it back on track. So with that, let's get into today's topic: simple tips for helping get back to school ready when you are finishing summer shutdown. Number one, the best thing that you can do, actually I don't think that I should have had this number one, but number one is, this isn't the best thing, but this is number one tip for you to help, is to get a nighttime routine. We need to get some sort of routine down, basically as quick as possible. A lot of things that we did, right, there's only a few days left, but a lot of times what we did in my house was we, a week or 2 weeks before we went back to school, that's when we started our nighttime routine. That's when we got back in the habit of, doing that wind down thing. I really love talking about having a nighttime routine, like a wind down routine, because when we're and especially with going back to school, right? We can, there's a lot of emotions happening with going back to school, and when we come home and it's time to go to bed, it can be really hard for us to just shut off our brain just like that, and then lie down and fall asleep, and then just get to sleep, have this greatest sleep ever, and then wake up in the morning and do it all over again. It can be very hard for us to do that. As much as it's easy for some of us, I'm a little bit like that. I can, sort of just shut off my brain and go to sleep. And, Tina gets really upset at me a lot because of it, because she has such a hard time. But that's where, it's kind of a joke between the two of us. But that's it, right? It can be very hard for us to just shut off our brains, shut off our minds, and go from, the daily hustle and bustle that is life, just to, a relaxing environment that's perfect for helping to get to sleep. So that's why we need to do a nighttime routine that involves some sort of calming down, right? A relaxing environment, perhaps a hot shower, right? And help you relax yourself down. Another way is to, turn off all of the electronics. Make sure that your brain is in a mental state to go to bed, right? It can be very hard for us to look at our phone, right, like that, and then just turn it off, and then our brain shuts off like that and go to sleep. That's when, we turn it off and our brain's still, it's still wired to go, it's still ready. And as much as you want to sleep, your brain's not ready to sleep. So that's why we got to try and turn off, the cell phones, the TVs, to a certain extent, a radio, right? And let your brain know that it's time to sleep. It's time to relax, right? You're trying to wind down. Another thing that helps me is to lay out my clothes for the next day, the night before. That just gives me one more thing. I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm alone in this, but I love sleep. And anything I can do to give myself a little bit more time in the morning is definitely going to help me out, because I like to sleep in a little bit. For me, I'm very much one of those go to bed late and I'll make up for the sleep in the morning. But that can help a lot. That helped me a ton, is to make sure that my clothes are out in the morning, right? Shoes are by the door, lunch is packed and ready to go. Anything else that I feel that I need in the morning. Like for me, I mean, back to school is a different type of thing, but for me, I start work at 6 o'clock in the morning. So when I wake up at 4 or 4:30 in the morning, I don't really, I'm not really in that state of mind to want to be looking for everything, right? So that's why I like to do as much the night before for the next morning as I can. That way it just gives me that little bit of extra time, that little bit of extra, cushion, we'll call it, and just that little bit of easiness, we'll call it, in the morning when, it can already be a rush time. So definitely, as soon as you can, get into some sort of nighttime routine that involves calming down, relaxing, promoting that relaxing environment, and then getting to sleep, and maybe perhaps doing some things from the night before to help yourself a little bit more in the morning. The sooner you can get into that habit, I promise you, the sooner it will help you in the long run. Number 2, meal prep. Meal prep, meal prep, meal prep. This is really one of the things, this has really made a huge difference in my life. I can't speak for Tina, and her and I have completely different schedules, and we kind of do things at a different, we'll call it the beat of our own drum. But I can say for me, it has made a world of a difference, and I can't honestly speak for how well it's made or how easy it's made Tina's life, but I know for a fact that she puts in a lot of time and effort in order to meal prep. What we do is we take Sunday evening, or Sunday basically the day, and meal prep for the week. So, maybe I can't speak for how much it's helping her life, but I can speak to how much work she puts in the kitchen to make sure that meals are prepped. So, I mean, nobody does that much work if it's not helping at all, right? That's the way that I look at it. But meal prepping is huge. It is such a relief. What we did is she stumbled upon some breakfast sandwich recipe, and so what we've been doing is making eggs in the muffin tin tray, and then putting a piece of ham on it, toasting some bread, making ourselves a breakfast sandwich, and then putting it in the freezer. And then when we take it out in the morning, we just warm it up in the microwave, and boom, we have ourselves, quote unquote McDonald's breakfast sandwich, right, first thing in the morning. We don't even have to do anything with it, right? We don't have to go anywhere. I can honestly tell you that has been the lifesaver for me, at least, for being able to eat breakfast, not having to prepare anything. And this is where I love meal prepping, talking about meal prepping from this specific standpoint, right? It is very hard for us to have the time, effort, energy, willpower, whatever else you want to call it, insert adjective here, to be able to prepare and cook 3 meals every single day, as well as snacks throughout the day. So that's where meal prepping, it is so much more beneficial to our lives than us trying to have to figure out. Also, what we've done is I'll get to that later. I'll get to that. But that's what I mean, right? Anything that we can do to just, take a little bit of the pressure off for the next day. Because we do, right? We live very busy, on-the-go lifestyles, and we don't always have time to do everything that we can in the day. And what takes a back seat? Sleep and nutrition, right? We end up forgetting, or we end up staying late or staying up too late that we can't get enough sleep. And then in the morning, it's Tim Hortons breakfast sandwich, and in the afternoon it's some sort of fast food, and then at nighttime it's pizza, right? So it can be, excuse me. That's what I mean. It can, we live, that's where I say it, because we do live such busy lifestyles that we can't always have time to meal prep, as well as meal cook, as well as meal eat 3 times every day, plus snacks. I mean, maybe I'm an anomaly, but for me, that doesn't sound like it would work for my life. I don't know, maybe if you have more than enough time to cook and prepare and eat 3 meals every single day and plus snacks, definitely come back here, tell me what your secret is, and I would love to hear that, because I would love to share that with the rest of us who have zero time. Number 3, this is what I was talking about. Write out your schedule. No matter what that is. Write out everything that you know that you have to get done. Whether that be, go to work, go to school, have to do homework, have hockey practice. What we've done is we've also written out all of our meals throughout the day. So Tina has made this, big sort of master board. She calls it the command center, I think. And that basically lets us know what all of our meals are. So as much as we're writing down all of the events that are happening in the day, we also have all of our meals written down. And so we know exactly what we're having for breakfast, lunch, and dinner all week because we've meal prepped that, right? So what she does is she actually decides what our meals are going to be, and then we meal prep, or maybe the other way around. I think she decides our meals, because then we would just be buying aimlessly. But that's what she does, right? She writes out all of our meals for the week. Then we know exactly what we're having at each meal of the day. Then it makes a very much easier grocery shop. And then we know exactly what we're cooking. That way we don't have to... we don't have to really kind of figure out what's going on. But then when comes the time to eat it, we're not sitting there going, what do you want for dinner? What do you want to eat? We had this last night, we had this last week, yada, 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 blah, 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 right? And that, that can really take, I can say for 100% experience that Tina and I have gotten many arguments over what to eat. Simply because we have no idea. And we also, I can say for a matter of fact that we have spent a heck of a lot of time just sitting around trying to decide what to eat, and then way more than we do actually eating. So that's why writing out everything that's happening on your schedule, because at the same time, right, we do have a few non-negotiables that we cannot that's non-negotiables that are in our day that can't be set aside, that have to be accomplished. And that's why it's so much more beneficial to write it out, so that you know exactly what's going on at every moment, basically of every day if you can, right? At least for the next week. Try it for the next month. That'll be so much more beneficial, but at the very least for the next week. Number 4, talk about safety with your kids. Definitely safety. Safety is everything, right? We want our kids to be safe. I've got a couple things here that I just pulled up. And this is stuff that I didn't even think about, right? School bus safety. Definitely around the school zones, right? Watching your speeds when you're driving, but also kids, right? Kids tend to get out and they tend to run around all over the place and they tend to just scatter, right? You let them out of the car or the bus and they're just like ants. They just scatter everywhere, right? And you can't really keep a hold of them. That's why, you really need to talk to your children about safety. You have to do the research and you have to let them know, certain things are safe and certain things are not. There's certain people that you're looking out for and there's certain people that you're not, right? There's all that stuff, right? Don't get into strangers' cars. Don't talk to strangers. Don't take candy from strangers, especially nowadays, right? Especially nowadays with what's going on. You might want to not take anything from strangers. And then even to a certain extent, to follow off that, you definitely want to know emergency procedures for your school, right? Depending on how old your child is, maybe they can really understand that. But you definitely want to know the emergency procedurals for the school in the event that an emergency happens. It's always better to be prepared and not need to know what to do than to not know what to do in general. But another thing that you want to talk about your kids is how to get home safely, right? And also alternate routes to get home. For me, when we used to go to school, I knew of at least 3 routes to get home from my school at any moment in time. So I wasn't forced to take this only one route home. And I also knew of an alternative route if need be, right? Not that I ever ended up in real big trouble, but that's what it was. If I needed it, I knew of different routes to get home. So that was very beneficial for me. I really liked that as a child growing up in school. So that's one of the things that I would very much suggest. Alternate routes. They definitely give your children more than one route to get home. Follow general guidelines. And then yeah, that's it, right? Definitely just make sure that everybody knows about safety, right? You can never be too safe. Safety guidelines, safety procedures, these are all things that we never want to use, right? But we need to be able to know what to do in the event. So definitely make sure that everybody in your household knows all of the safety rules for going back to school and making it amazing for everyone. Number 5, have a reward system. Think about us as an adult, right? I mean, what's our reward system? Money. That's the reason we go to work. I don't go to work for the fun of it. I don't go to work because I love the guys that I work with. I don't go to work because I want to make my boss's life so much easier. I go to work because I get paid for it, right? I go to work for the reward system. And also think about yourself as a person, right? There's not a whole lot that you do in your life, because I know for me, maybe I'm just an anomaly, right? There's not a whole lot that I do that's not for a reward. That's why we have to set that same sort of system up for our children, right? If you want them to come right home after school and not do anything shady, if you want them to complete their homework in a timely manner, right? If you want them to, get straight A's and be a model student, if you want them to volunteer in their, in the community, in the school, and do extracurricular activities and stuff like that, you gotta have a reward system, right? You gotta have something in it for them. Let's get real here, man. As adults, we don't really do much if it's not in it for us. Think about it realistically. Somebody comes up to you and says, hey man, what's going on? First thing that pops into your mind, what do you want? Right? Second thing that pops into your mind, what's in it for me? More often than not, when somebody asks you for a favor, that's what you're asking. That's your very first question. What's in it for me? Right? Also, think about you when you're asking for a favor. It's very much easier for you to get somebody to do you a favor if you bring them a gift, right? So that's where consider a reward system, right? Reward everybody in your household for a job well done, right? A job well done is a job well done. It's a pat on the back. It's a sticker. It's you get to pick dinner this week. It's maybe we'll eat dinner at your favorite restaurant this week. Maybe it's you get to pick the movie tonight, right? Definitely any sort of reward system, right? The younger the child, the easier the reward system. Once they get older, they start to kind of wise up to things and everything, right? But definitely, a reward system works for us as adults. So why not try and implement some sort of system in your own household? And right, who knows, maybe it doesn't work. Maybe, everybody in your household does not need a reward to do everything that they're supposed to do. They just are model citizens, and they wake up and they do everything that they're supposed to, and there's not a second that goes by that, they're not doing everything perfectly and being a model citizen. For the rest of us, we need a reward system of some sort to try and keep going. So that's where try it. And that's what I mean, right? If a reward system doesn't work for you and everybody just does everything that they need to right on their own fruition, come back here. Tell me that tip didn't mean nothing to you, and I would love to listen to the story behind that. My last tip, more than anything, is essential oils. An essential oil blend here, like On Guard, is the immune boosting blend from doTERRA. And what that one is it's got oils in it that help to boost the immune system. That's it, right? When we're going back to school, we're going back to, a germ infestation pool, right? Let's get real here. Kids are dirty and they don't always clean up after themselves, nor are they interested in being clean. I know for me, as a young child, I was interested in getting as dirty as I possibly could, right? With that came, a lot of unexpected, I don't know, there's a word I'm looking for that I'm trying to say, but I can't spit it out. But definitely, boosting your immune system is going to be the biggest benefit that you can do for yourself when you go back to school. My next blend here is Serenity. And Serenity actually is the restful blend from doTERRA. That's the one that helps create that relaxing environment that I was talking about earlier. Because that's it, right? When we are going with our lives, right, and we are going, it's very hard for us to just shut off our brain like a light bulb and go to sleep and just be asleep and have the greatest sleep ever and then wake up the next day and do it all over again. That's why I love using Serenity. Helps create that relaxing environment. Let your brain know that it's time to shut off and get ready for bed. My last blend here that I have is Brave. Excuse me, Brave. Excuse me. Brave is the courage blend, and that's it, right? When we're going back to school, when we are starting a new school year, when we are, maybe starting in a new school, we need we need some courage. We need to be brave. We need to step into a new persona, right? And we need to put that Superman hero cape on and just rock it out. That's all I got for you for today. I really hope you enjoyed this. I know I had some fun making it. Feel free to share this with your friends, a family member, perhaps somebody from your team that you feel needs to hear this. If you'd like to learn more about essential oils or how to get your hands on some of this cool stuff that I'm talking about, or if you'd like a free sample of oils just to get your hands on a little taste tester before you make a full-on commitment, definitely reach out to me, drop me a comment, send me a message saying me, and we'll get you rocking and rolling. Thank you so much for joining me. I really hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day and an even better long weekend, and I look very forward to talking to you again. I love you guys. Bye for now.